Today I went to walk near the sea. It was great. I like the touch of sand on my feet. Following the curves of the waves, I walked there for a long time. Dear, today I walked in piles of leaves on the ground, in the forest. They were already dampened by dews and rains. I like the sound of the leaves when I was walking. Here, listen. She doesn't talk, just keeps walking. He's ahead of her, looking back from time to time. Since she was a child, she entered the forest with her family this time every year. The walk was long. Her father usually led in the front. Her uncles and cousins followed. She was at the end of the line with her mother most of the time. She liked to look down while she was walking, under and around her shoes, messy grass losing green, fallen leaves, no flowers anymore, but all kinds of leaves in hundreds of colors, stones breaking out from the leaves too, stones covered with green moss, stones with green moss and flame-colored leaves falling everywhere. Once there was a fire. When she smelled the smoke and looked up, the flames were already approaching them. She didn't remember how they ran down the mountain and escaped the fire in the end, but she recalled when the fire broke away. Her mother immediately jumped into the fire and grabbed her. She was just 7 or 8 at that time. What she can only remember is when being carried on her mother's back, she smelled her mother's burnt hair. I dreamed of you yesterday. There aren't many details since I forgot most of them, but we were walking, as if traveling at a place with lots of rivers. At one moment, we couldn't find a way to cross one, but suddenly you pointed far away and gently said, "Look, there is a bridge." And then I awoke. Dream. She's standing at the crossroad of the street. In a distance, at the other side of the street, she sees huge crowds of people walking. Everyone is moving in one direction, slowly. In their hands, they're holding boards and banners. She sees them speaking out loud something at the same time, but she cannot hear. Words are written on those boards, but she cannot read. She's kept still, or she doesn't want to move. She stands there looking at them, passing from far away. There seems to be a glow of fire. Now an image unfolds. A skin with scars, dampened by water, whatever it may be, dews and rains, rivers, or the sea. A soft arm with visible veins, a fingertip stained with a dot of blue pigment, and a floating hair, in the air or in the water. The image was slowly burnt away. For a long time, she knew that she wanted to do this, and today it is the time. She remembers the route. First, they will go deep into the forest, and then they will start to climb up the mountain. The road isn't steep at all, but it's long and winding. After several hours, they will reach a little plain on top of the mountain. That's where her family would usually take breaks. She remembers, upon reaching the top, her father always held her up and pointed at the horizontal line, at the farthest distance for her. There, that's the destination. We already started to walk before dawn, but there are still many hours ahead. He's carrying a lute on his back. They have to arrive there before sunset. Today, light doesn't change much. The dawn can be as long as you want. But I think dim light suits us, like 6 in the morning or 6 in the evening. At that time we were not fully awake. I looked at the outside of the window in a daze. Your head was leaned onto my shoulder. 6 in the evening, we were both worn out, gradually falling asleep, gazing at the sun sinking slowly. We sank. Dream. There's a bridge. She finally finds herself standing at that bridge. She looks down. What's below her feet is no longer a river, but those large crowds of people passing below her. If dreams have memory, she would notice it's the same crowd. They are wearing clothes in different bright colors. They are still holding signs, boards and banners, and still walking. She lowers her eyes, seeing colors flowing steadily below her. She feels the vibration when they are walking by. Her whole body feels it. She closes her eyes, but she still sees the endless crowd. A humming sound slowly arises from below, getting louder and louder and louder. Yes, this time she hears. A body of a young girl appears in the water, naked. They say she committed suicide. Her body keeps silent. She doesn't smile. Somebody doubts whether it is true or not. Her skin dyed blue. She probably doesn't feel pain anymore. Tell me those suspicious elements. She doesn't frown. A 15-year-old girl. She's completely empty. No suspicious elements. It's getting louder and louder. Dream. She's struck by the sudden noise behind her. I turn around. I see her appearing in the crowd looking at me, also standing in the crowd. It's getting louder and louder. The humming sound from the footsteps and the voices. Somebody starts to shout and a kid is crying, and something heavy was thrown to the ground. People start to run away, and there arises the smoke, with sounds of metal hitting on heavy surfaces. Now I'm surrounded by lights of flames. Now come explosions, hundreds of cries and hundreds of shouts. Suddenly, a group of people wearing white rush into the crowd. They run directly to her and grab her away. She struggles and fights, but the smoke is soon becoming too dense. Now around me is complete darkness, or whiteness, only with the smell of someone's burnt hair. After I cannot tell how long, a silence. It starts to rain. Then it starts to turn heavy. In the end, a waterfall, a blue waterfall shooting, aiming towards me. In the thunderous sound of the waterfall, I hear someone say to me, "She didn't jump into the water and kill herself. She was murdered." I know, because in my dream I met her. Her hair was blue, her eyes were blue, her skin was dyed into a pale blue tone. She told me, I know, she just had a dream. In her dream, she jumped into the sea. She wanted to escape from her hometown and search for something. Her hometown told her, if you leave, don't come back. So she swam for a long time and finally arrived somewhere in the middle of the water. There, a group of people sat in a circle. She went and sat down together with them. She found herself naked. In the middle of the circle, a fire was burning. She told me she felt warm. Another hour we will reach the mountain top. 4 more hours from somewhere in the woods, we will hear the sound of water. Tracing the sound, we will arrive at the sea. To memorize someone, we go to the sea. Together with sound of waves, we play the lute and sing. We will stand in the waves. And in the waves this time, I will gently recall the dream of her. Here, listen. Dear, what did you dream last night? Last night I dreamed that you slept very well. Last night I dreamed that in my room there are many flowers.